talking,
Yeah.
just so I don't forget. And we can use this. This
Yeah.
will be our weekly recap, and we got a special guest on today, so we'll just record and go from there. But yes,
Oh, you we're gonna try to blend the recap too with this
I
now
don't know.
too.
What are you thinking? I was thinking
Well,
maybe
let's
like
go. Go ahead. Go
because
ahead. Sorry.
I don't think LC needs to be here for the whole hour. She could just pop on.
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
time she has. And we just
Why don't we just try to keep her interview down to like 15 minutes or so, and then we could
yeah
swing right into the recap. And if she wants to, maybe listen, and I don't know if she
yeah.
wants to
Well,
kind of tag along and
take a look at it
observe and
this
listen.
way. Like think about imagine you and I are sitting in a truck stop just talking like we are right now, and then LC walks in. It's like, hey, how's it going? Come on, sit down. We're just talking about trucking and this and that. So we can just make this just super
Yeah,
casual and
yeah,
just realistic.
yeah. I don't mind if she just wants to listen and contribute and listen to us talk. I don't care. It's kind of cool because she's kind of like we could be interviewing her, and then she can kind of be part of the live audience.
Right.
I'm just tag if she wants to. She's on her home time, so she's visiting her sisters, I guess.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
talking to her the other day. She seemed pretty open to like just the idea of talking about trucking and her story and just she seems like she likes this kind of stuff too. So it could just be like a doorway for her to get her own channel going, or maybe to find her own specific thing that she might want to do. So or maybe just connect.
yeah. Well, I thought it might be depending on how she feels and how she wants to go. She could just come on here and be a part of the channel on a casual basis for a while and see how it goes, and she can share the these things with her family or with other drivers, and then she can kind of like kind of play it by ear.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. I think it's a great thing that we're doing with this, and it's all part of the channel process. If you're watching this recording, we're just hanging out. Got Doug and Mike here for our weekly recap, and we're also going to be chatting with another truck driver coming on soon. So we're just kind of recapping, hanging out. Doug, where are you? You're in California right now, or what?
Yeah, I'm I'm on a highway 505, which I'll kind of picture this. I I was talking about geography because my friends in Japan, they don't know the geography, so I'm giving them a little geography. I just came down on Interstate 5, and there's a highway 505 that's a shortcut to the Bay Area, so you don't have to go into Sacramento. And the 805, the 505 catches the 80 that goes into San Francisco Bay Area. So I'm right before you get to the 80. In other words, I'm just outside the San Francisco Bay Area, and I'm going to a place called Tracy to drop off this load. I'm about 80 miles from there. That's about an hour and a half. And then from there, I have to drive approximately about 5 hours south to pick up another load. It's a Kia furniture load. And that's going into, it's a short run to LA. And then I'm going from there out to the East Valley of Los Angeles, and going all the way to Arizona from there.
Oh, nice.
This is my home time, what's called my home time load. These are the loads to get me home for a couple of days.
Oh, so you're gonna take a couple days off coming up, or what?
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna. This next load is just a short run to get me to pick up the longer run that goes out to a place east of Tucson, Arizona, and then I'm taking the truck back to the terminal, and I'm taking 2 days off. So this is like my home time runs. There's still 3 runs, and this is still going to be about, I don't know, 500 miles or something like that. But these are my runs to go home. And
Nice.
LC was saying, I asked her, do you live in the Kansas City area? She said, no, she lives in Arizona. But what's nice with our company, she wanted to visit her sisters, and we have a Kansas City terminal, so she can ask the company to route her to Kansas City so she can visit her sisters.
Nice.
So it makes it nice if you want to see relatives, you don't have to drive or fly there.
Yeah, that's a
So we
cool
have that
thing.
flexibility.
I remember
So that's
meeting some truckers back in the day years ago, and a guy was telling me the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, if I want to go on vacation, let's say I want to go to Florida for the week, I can just request a load to go to Florida, drop it off, hang out for however long, and then pick back up and go." I mean, I think that's the best thing about this profession is just being able to basically get paid to travel and go wherever you want at the end of the day if
And
you're willing to do it, you know.
I do it with Airbnb. I like it because, you know, I've done it already several times. I have a really nice Airbnb I really like in Denver. It's all furnished, just like my own place. And we have a terminal in Denver. So I just get routed there, park the truck. If I want to rent a car, so I have a car for a few days, I just rent a car, stay in the Airbnb for 2, 3, 4 days. So it's like having an apartment there that's waiting for me anytime I need it. And then I just hit the road again. I could do that in Portland. I could do that in Southern California. I could do that all over the country. So it makes it kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. I love that feature because you know that's part of the channel. Like that's part of what we're growing through is, you know, not only just the truck driving aspect of it, you know, it's the ability to do the things that you love, you know, not just you, just anybody, you know, whatever you're passionate about, you can do that with truck driving. And that's really what we're bringing through this channel. You know, I like how you said it the other day, Doug. It's like we're flushing things out, you know, we're really finding things that, you know, need focus and need to be, you know, like the audio thing, you know, that's a good thing that we've been kind of focusing on that for the last few days. Seems like that's getting straightened out and everything sounds good on that end. So I like the process of just taking action, you know, and that's really what we've been doing for the past month and a half or so is just taking action, you know, figuring it out. You know, not everything's perfect and not everything's done right, quote unquote. It's just getting your work out there, and that's exactly what you're doing. So I love it, and I'm proud to be part of this project. Do you have anything you want to kind of recap yourself while we're waiting for LC to jump on? Do you want to kind of do any recaps from your point of view, like on the road, video?
I think what's happening with me, which happens in my life, you know, I'm wired this way. I'll start out doing something logical, have it planned out. You know, that quote I mentioned a couple of times, John Lennon's quote, life is what happens when you're making other plans. And the idea is that you can make your plan logically and you start making your plan and your intuition or spirit or whatever, the true essence of what you're supposed to be doing reveals itself on the way. You know, that's kind of what's happening now is I can have a vision of what this channel is going to be from the beginning, but when I'm doing it, some new ideas are revealing themselves. It's not that I'm going to give up the core of what we're talking about, like the training modules. You know, that needs to be done, but that's going to eventually, those blocks and that segment's going to be done, and something else needs to go. You know, something needs to be focused on next. So what's happening is I'm getting ideas of what to do next that are complementary to what we're already doing.
Definitely, and that's the
So
best part about the creation process is, you know, once you get into it, you know, once you get, oh, my dogs are barking. Once you get into that creative process, you know, things just start to come to you, and like, you know, people like, you know, even Elsie, we're gonna have her on here in a little bit. It's like you meet new people just because you're taking a step in a direction that you're feeling is something you want to do. You know what I mean? We're just getting our
well, it's a perfect example. The other day I was just fueling at TA at like 3 in the morning, and out of the blue, this guy came up to me. I thought at first he was going to ask me for money or something, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, how long you been driving with Knight?"
All
See
right,
what this
yeah,
says.
I messed up your video. I hit the button by mistake.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
sorry. Just
Okay.
yeah, you're back.
Um,
Okay, yeah. So
um,
you met the guy.
so what? Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I'm busy doing my work, fueling in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock. This guy comes walking up, goes, "How long you been with Knight?" I'm like, "Well, I've been Knight, you know." And then he said, "I actually been talking to a recruiter, and I was thinking about doing this." And then I just told him, "Well, it's coincidental. I have a channel just for people just like you, who are,
Nice.
you know, considering the possibility of what to do." So I gave him my little spiel why I like Knight, which was true, and he bought into it. And he said, "Well, I'm going to go talk to my recruiter." And I said, "You should just subscribe to my channel because you'll get a lot of value from the videos that I'm producing that will answer a lot of the questions you have right now." So he was real, and he got real excited, and he walked away, and he said, I'll definitely sign up on your channel." And that just happened just coincidentally. Then the other guy that was at the shipper that I started talking to about the channel, and he said, "Oh, I was actually thinking about driving a truck today." And then he literally, as he was leaving work, was signing up and being a subscriber on his smartphone as he was walking by. you know. And those were, I think, two. I think I might have met 3 new subscribers, and it was just out while I was working. I didn't wake up and go, okay, today I'm going to find 3 new subscribers. They just
Right.
magically kind of start showing up.
Yeah, that's the awesome part because, you know, with YouTube and you know, obviously our goal isn't to be like, hey, we just want to focus on getting subscribers and getting
Yeah.
views. You know, we want to focus on creating quality content that people actually want to see. So it's great to do that, and then it's great to see how you can actually meet people in the real world and connect in that way where they're like, hey, you know, I've been thinking about that, let me talk to you. Now they talk to you, now they go to your YouTube channel, and then it's like, you know, you're just that, you know, that gateway for them to really figure out what it is that they're looking for. LC is just jumping in. I'm going to bring her in right now. So she's in the waiting room. She's coming in right now. So,
I
hey,
should
what's
probably
going
take
on,
these
LC?
glasses off.
It just says you're connecting audio. So
Now she pops on. We can see her too, right? When she's on.
yeah, she's on. Oh, my dogs are making a noise. Yeah, she's on right now. Her mic is just not connected, but she looks like she's probably figuring that out.
I meant her picture comes on too, or is it just me?
No, she's there. You should be able to see
Okay.
her. I can see her.
I don't see her.
You might have to swipe. LC, we can see you. We just can't hear you. Not sure if you're connected to audio.
Oh, there we are. I see her now. I see her now. Hello.
Yeah, she just looks like she's just getting her audio situated.
Yeah. Now I see her. I actually, and on my other camera, I'm recording myself.
Oh, nice. Hey, that's cool. So, I mean, if you actually,
so,
you could
so
actually like,
I'm recording myself, and I can use it for one of our videos. So
yeah.
I'm just being creative. I try to think of new ways to do things. You know.
I'm not sure why it's not playing her audio.
She just fell
Yeah,
off connecting to audio.
yeah. So she's okay. Looks like she might have her. Okay. So
No, I
okay,
did.
there you are. Yep, you're good.
Yeah.
And
I
then
can
I was
hear
like,
you
"Oh."
now. I can hear you now. Cool.
Yeah, I was trying. This is the first time I've used Zoom.
oh, no worries. Hey, we're
Well, fantastic. We're glad to have you. There's always a good first time. It's a good place to start.
Did the
Her
video
picture.
go away?
it did. I could just hit ask to start video and you should get a prompt and then you could join the video.
Okay,
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
Yeah.
There we
Perfect.
go.
All right, LC, nice to
Good.
meet you here. Great to have you on. Thanks for taking the time out. We're, you know, you got Doug and Mike here. Nice to meet you officially.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah, with driving
Do
to
you
Tokyo. Go ahead.
do you work for
Yeah.
night too?
No,
No.
I just got a picture background. I
I
felt
was
left.
like,
I felt left out.
oh, I'm on home time, so
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, if it's okay, Mike, since I met her, I'd like to tee it off and
Absolutely.
tell how we met and let her definitely jump in. Um, I'm real excited because I love anytime I see women truck drivers on the road, I get excited because I'm really pro women getting out of their comfort zone and doing things that, you know, normally you would think they weren't doing because I'm older. I'm from the 70s, you know, back in the 70s, women weren't laborers. They weren't out doing the things that men were. And there was a lot of trailblazers now, like I'll see a truck. This morning, I saw a tanker go by and a woman was driving the tanker and I was like, yay, you know, so when I saw her, I was leaving the driver lounge, and we both work for night transportation. I kind of saw the back of her, and something told me to talk to her. And to be honest with you, I didn't want to hassle her or anything because I know how it is when you're a driver. Because I'm a driver too. When you have your off time, you know, like I think LC said, when she's off, she'll just do her thing. And then she'll go in the truck and kind of pull the curtains and you get in your own little cocoon. And I do the same thing. But something told me to say something and at least break the ice. And so I came up to her and I just basically told her about the making of the videos in my channel. And the first thing that kind of caught my attention is because, you know, this is driving to Tokyo. We got on the subject of Japan and she said she had actually been there before. So to me, that was kind of a confirmation from the universe I was supposed to talk to her. But the other thing that really got me is I later found out she wasn't there just in Japan. She actually lived there for 6 years. She actually lived there. And then and I'll let you jump in a second, but what I remember you telling me is that you've been driving 2 years and that you were a trainer. And there's sometimes you had gone out for like 3 months at a time. And there's times you did like 3,500 miles a week. So I was like, wow, this woman's really serious about her truck driving. And you could kind of tell by the way she was talking that she's really serious about it. And the last thing I want to say that I thought was really cool, and I'd like her to talk about this, is how she got involved. She said that her husband was in the military, and she more or less said that she told her husband it's her time to go and be deployed and get to travel and go out, kind of get out of the house and kind of reverse roles. And that's kind of what she ended up doing. And I thought that was really cool. So, so back to the question, Mike, was you can add to this is like, how did you end up deciding to drive a truck and then end up choosing night? And tied in with that is like, what has been your experience so far with truck driving? I know you mentioned you love driving, and that's something we have in common. I just absolutely love driving. I don't even think of it as work. I just absolutely love driving. So I'll just pass it over to you and just kind of in your own words, just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and some things that we'd like to know.
Okay. I've been driving for 3 years.
Oh,
I've been
3
with
years.
Knight.
Okay.
Yep. I've been with Knight for 2 years. I did work the oil field for a few months before the COVID hit. So that I loved. I loved working in the oil field in Wyoming. That was one of my favorites. I've done reefer, I've done dry van, and I've done sandboxes for the oil field, and that's just fabulous. I love that one. But since COVID hit, the boom went down in Wyoming, so I'm back over the road with Knight. I started driving because my son has type 1 diabetes, and my husband works a lot. So to take the burden off of him, I started working. And, I was a stay-at-home mom for 20 years. So there's not a lot of skills that I have that cross over into, the real world. So I know I can drive. So I'm like, why not drive a big rig? So that's where that started. And, I help with the bills, and I help with his diabetes, and I'm paying for my daughter's college. It's all in cash just from working with Knight. So, and I stay out 3 to 6 months at a time. My kids are older. They're very independent. I raise them that way. So, we video talk, we chat, Skype, same thing, it's like being deployed. So my husband has to deal with the kids now, and they're older. So it should be really easy for him now. I love it. I'm an introvert. I don't look like it, but I am. I get a lot of looks on the road because I don't look like a normal woman truck driver as what they assume a woman truck driver looks like. There are a lot of girls like me out on the road. We work really hard and we play really hard. It's all for my family.
I love that. I think I'm just going to jump in real quick just to kind of echo off of that, because I think the cool thing with this whole project, just meeting Doug, and I've worked around warehousing for most of my young adult life. So I've seen truck drivers, dealt with trucks, loading, unloading. So not really ever looking at it in the light that you both are looking at it, and it's really cool to see each person have their own individual story, and the common link is trucking to get there. And I think it's just such a cool thing, because you can not only see a lot of things, you can just kind of be on your own, be independent, and you're making solid money for what you're doing. So I just think it's awesome to meet new people. And I think that, with the channel, with Doug and you coming into the fold here, just even this little Zoom call, I think is really cool, just to kind of get things flowing, get the energy flowing, because, there are women and men out there right now that are struggling, that don't know what to do, or they want to travel, or they're stuck financially, or they have, a kid or something that needs some medical help or whatever. And they might not even think of trucking, which is like, it's right there. So I love the connection here. And I just wanted to jump in and say that, and, appreciate you for coming on here today and just kind of chatting.
I
LC, do
want
you want to take it back? Yeah, Doug, you want to take it back? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
just want to mention one thing about her being an introvert. I wanted to say that about trucking that I absolutely love. I actually have two sides, but I have a side of me that loves just meditating and being introspective. And this, I mentioned this to you, Mike, that this is the kind of job because everything, we get all our stuff through our app that you can literally just about work and never talk to anyone other than just going in the truck stops and maybe buying some coffee or something. You can literally be in your own little world. You don't have to deal with other employees. You don't have to deal with customers. You just do your work. And so if someone's in a space where maybe they've gone through a hard times or they've gone through a divorce or they got some time, I know before I started driving a truck, the way I'd process things, sometimes I like to just take a long road trip for my mental therapy. So to me, it's like an endless road trip. So if you're in a space, if you find yourself on this channel and you feel like you want to work, but you don't, you just kind of want to be in your own little world. You want a chance to kind of heal your heart or process or just be alone for a while. This is a great job for that because you can literally do that. You don't really have to even be around people. You just do your work, do your job.
Yeah, I'm similar. I like to be in my own little world too. I'd also know that, communication and people is huge too. So, I'm a good mix of introvert, extrovert, most leaning towards the introvert side on most times, however, can also be extroverted.
Yeah,
So I think that's cool.
I also think, a lot of our truckers are on the road and we don't talk to anybody all day. And I always smile at people when I get into a truck stop or the stripper. I'm nice. You know, now in the truck when I'm driving, I could be cussing at all these drivers. But when I meet people on the road, I'm smiling. I say hi to them because you don't know when the last time someone smiled and said hello to them. So that's what I do. And I talk to anybody. Anybody comes up to me, I just talk to them. And I could be stuck there for an hour or two. And I'm like, I gotta go, I got a load to take. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, so I just talk to everybody. And they're like, oh, they're just flirting with you. I'm like, no, it's nice to actually physically chat with a person since we are in the truck. We sleep in the truck. I mean, I don't get out at night. Once I shut down, close my windows, that's it. I don't get out of the truck because, well, it's unsafe for a woman to be wandering around at truck stop at night. So I stay in the truck and then the next morning I'm up and I leave. So it's nice just to talk to somebody. I always talk to
Definitely.
everybody. Whenever anybody comes up to me and talks to me, I talk to them.
Yeah, you never
So
know who you're going to meet, and that's the awesome part of it. Sometimes we'll meet strangers. Like I know LC doesn't know a bunch about my story, but my wife and I travel. We're on the road a lot too. Um, and to your point, you go to a truck stop. We used to travel with a travel trailer, and we would stay at truck stops. And I remember my first time traveling. You kind of get a little scared. Like, is there anything that you can tap into on that with like how you overcame that, like the thought of being alone at a truck stop as a female, or what was that like for you?
well, I think it's all about like how you present yourself. Like I always walk up with my head high and I'm always scanning. I always check all of my surroundings at all times. You know, a lot of people will strap their doors. I don't do that because it's unsafe. I
Now,
fight if there's a
what is
fire.
that? Sorry to interrupt you, but what is? I've never
Uh,
heard about that.
to strap your doors, you hook your seatbelt through and you click it on your seatbelt. So it locks your
Oh,
doors. You can't get out. But the thing is with that, I think it's personally for me, I wouldn't do it because if there's a fire, I can't get out quick enough.
right.
I'm like, you know, I'm okay, So I just, I'm always scanning my surroundings. You have to be aware of your surroundings. So I lock my doors, when I shut down at night, I shut down. And I'm always in a lit area, like a truck stop or a rest area. I mean, for night's policy, we're not on the ramps. We don't sit duck. It's called sitting duck. We actually stop and or I go to my yards. We have a ton of yards that I go to. So that's where I park. And I've always felt safe. I've never had a huge problem. So I know a lot of other women say they have problems, but it's all on how you carry yourself and your confidence and being aware of your surroundings out here.
Right on. As simple as it could be. I love that part because that's how I mean, Doug, I'm sure you could probably tap in on that too. Like when you first got started, was there like some kind of weirdness for you, like stopping at a truck stop and
I
doing things like
think
that?
I think the thing, and maybe LC would be able to relate to this too. Um, it wasn't so much safety because I've traveled all over the world. Ran on money in Morocco and hitchhiked all over the United States, and so it wasn't that. But it's coming into this culture. It's kind of like a biker culture, almost like Harley Davidson culture. You're coming into this culture, and when you're brand new, when you're backing up and the things you're doing, it's obvious to the rest of the truck drivers sometimes that you're new, and so you're coming into this brand new tribe, and everybody's watching you and checking you out, and you're new. And it takes a while to kind of blend into the tribe, and feel like I'm one of them. I'm not on the outside, I'm one of these guys. And that takes a while. So it was more along those lines of feeling like an outsider. Every time I went to a truck stop or a consignee or a shipper, when all these experienced people, you could tell they knew exactly what was going on, but I was new. I didn't know what was going on. So that was part of it for me, just getting comfortable with being a truck driver and being in that environment.
Definitely.
Oh, I still get people that get out and try and help me back, and I'm like, I got it, but thanks, or they'll drop my landing gear for me. They're like, oh, here, sweetie, let me do it for you.
Oh boy.
Like you're weak. I'm like, okay, thanks. I'm like, really,
I got this. I got this.
I know. I'm like, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, it's like you wouldn't be there if you couldn't. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And that's, I'm sure, some
And then
things you deal with as well.
yeah, and they're like, oh wow, you did it pretty quickly. I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it for a while, but thanks. And they're always so surprised, and I'm like, jeez, you boys.
You should just be like, oh
It's
yeah, I
boys.
know.
And then I'll see someone, back in really quick and just real tight, just one stop, and I'll get out. It's a woman backing up. I'm like, wow, she's really got it together, And she kind of looks at me, hey, dude, I've got this,
Yeah, I think
don't get me
like,
wrong. I have my bad days too. I'm like, dang, this took me 20 minutes. I'm like, and it's the easiest one possible. There's like no other trailers around, and I can't get it in the hole. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I don't have, like, just some days I have my bad days. Some days I have my great days. And I'm like, this is a bad day. I swear, I have been driving longer than you think. So
do you have any kind of like mindset shifts that you use? Like, let's say you are having a bad day on the road. Do you say, is there a way that you get out of it? Do you do anything specific to you that gets you back onto a positive state?
No, I listen to music, or I just call friends and talk to friends, while I drive. I just think about it and I'm like, well, tomorrow's another day.
Yeah, and that's great because it seems like mental
Mm.
stability is huge, where you're
Yeah.
contained for so long by yourself. So it's good that people have outlets that they go to. Like, I know Doug likes to, he's making videos, so he's obviously talking and doing videos, so he's getting a lot of inspiration and things out there and passing time. So it's kind of cool to see what everybody does in that regard, because I think, when people think about truck driving, they're like, oh, I'm going to be all alone. I'm not going to see anybody. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be able to do this. When it's really kind of like the opposite. You kind of do have a little bit more freedom. Maybe we can shift gears into the freedom aspect of it. You both have been to Tokyo. Maybe we can touch on that. I don't know if any Doug or LC, if you want to take that, the steering wheel that direction.
LC talk about. Hey, LC, if you could talk about, because you lived in Japan for 6 years, and this is driving to Tokyo. It'd be kind of cool to have you talk a little bit about your experience in Japan. That'd be awesome if you feel like doing it.
My husband was in the Air Force. He's retired. We lived at Yokota Air Force Base in Fusa, Japan. So I had the best time there. I went out with my girlfriends every weekend. We explored. We went everywhere. And I love the culture. We ate everything. We tried everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm half Asian myself. So it was just like a dream come true. And whenever we talk about Japan, we call it the motherland, because it's like where us as women grew together when our husbands were deployed, and it just felt like a better community, a better family. So I have a whole bunch of girlfriends that are my sisters, and we call them Yokota sisters, because that's basically where we were at. We traveled everywhere. We went on weekends with just the girls. We took our kids traveling. My kids think that's their home. They call that their home because they grew up there. So, and they miss it. So I miss it too. I would love to go back.
Do you have any plans to go back? Yeah, once COVID.
As soon as COVID's all done, yeah, I plan to go back. So I would love to go to South Korea, because my daughter and I are really big into Korean dramas and K-pop. We love K-pop. So we watch like on my 34s, I will binge watch Korean dramas all day long and not get out. I'm like, I'll order Uber Eats and I'll be like, it's delivered to me, so I don't have to leave the truck, you know? So I just binge watch, you know, Korean dramas, catch up, you know, I'll watch a whole season and I'm like, great, now I have to find another one, you know? Sometimes I'll lose sleep over it. I'm like, I can't, I just got to finish this last episode and then I'll go to bed. Just one more. So that's what I do. But I
Nice,
love
love
Japan.
it. And so, yeah, do you have any favorite spots that, you know, or Doug, do you have any spots too, like maybe that you guys have in common or that you like the most?
I like Roppongi, but I like to go dancing. So, you know, we'd go to the bars and stuff. So in Roppongi. So
Nice. I've never been.
and,
I have
and,
no idea about Japan, so it's cool to learn from you guys.
and my understanding, I mean, I found this out with my friend Chicago I visit. I didn't realize, I don't think in some places the bars don't close like they do here too. Because I remember one time I was with her, I usually would typically go out till about 10 or 11 and she'd go home. And there was one night she said, let's just stay out all night. I'm like, what do you mean stay out all night? She said, well, there's a really good, cool neighborhood bar. Some lady friends of mine bartend there. We'll just go there and we'll hang out. We stayed there like till 5 in the morning. And it was just a little bar. There was only like a couple people there, and we just drank and talked, and it was awesome. And the other thing about Japan, I really like, it's really safe. You don't feel, you can stay out all night, and you feel really safe there. But I just love it there. I too feel like it's home. You know, when I go there and I come back here, the U.S., I feel like I'm leaving home. And I
yeah.
go through kind of reverse cultural shock. I come back here and it just feels so different. You know, it takes me a while to get readjusted to being here.
Oh, the food is so much healthier over there too. So I'm just like, I came back here, I gained like, I was 100 pounds when I left Japan, and I ended up being 175 when I started trekking. So I was like,
Oh, wow.
oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'm back down. I'm back to 120 pounds, but I was like, oh my God, I have to start doing something. So I just lost all the weight truck driving. So I don't know how, but it did. It worked out well for me. Yeah, because we would go, my girlfriends and I would go to the bars, and we'd come outside and it would be daylight. We're like, oh my goodness, what happened? You know?
Where do we go?
So we're like, what happened? But the trains do close down at midnight. So, I mean, you have to stay out to catch it at 5 a.m. to come home. I mean, that's just how it is. So you have to stay it all night. That's what happened.
And
make the commitment.
And people like to work hard, but they like to play hard there. They work hard, but they play hard.
Yeah, it seems like such an interesting culture, and it's cool to, you know, you mentioned the food, and it's something people who, like, I never even thought about, you know, obviously there are different foods. I just, you know, you don't really think about those things, and it's just interesting just to learn all different angles of it. Travel, trucking. Doug, do you want to take this anywhere else with travel or trucking? Is there any other topics that you want to bring up, or
Well,
I
do feel this channel long term. I told this before I even met you, Mike. I've told friends starting out as driving to Tokyo, but it could be driving to Thailand, driving to Vietnam, driving to Indonesia. It can be driving anywhere, and it could be what I'm doing, but I'm hoping other people get involved and other people have other stories. Like, I've always wanted to go to XYZ, and so other drivers say my channel or my stories can be driving to XYZ. It doesn't have to be just driving to Tokyo. It's just a metaphor. It's just a vehicle. It's a starting point, but it doesn't have to be an ending point. It's just, you know, it's where I've gone recently. So that it actually started out as driving to Brazil 20 something years ago. I thought this story was going to originally be driving to Brazil, but now it's evolved to driving to Tokyo. So I think it can evolve to driving other places.
I think it's an awesome concept and idea.
Yeah, Europe's my thing. I go with my sister every 3 or 4 years. We go to Europe. So we just love Europe because of history. So, like, I've been to Hallstatt. We went to Prague, Budapest, and Hallstatt for 1 year, 14 days. And then the next one, we went to Scotland and Ireland, which I love that place. I would go back. So, and I think the next trip we're doing is we're going back to Italy. So
nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then as far as truck driving goes, good, Doug.
All I want to say, the cool thing about Europe is you have so many languages and cultures and stuff, really short distance. And now with the new bullet trains and stuff, you can travel so many different places relatively pretty fast. And that's the cool thing about it. There's so much within a small area.
Yeah, I mean, travel is key, and that's something that I never really did for a while until I got into, my mid-20s, and then now it's just like, I think when you get a taste for it, you just want to keep going. So, LC, like with truck driving, what's your plan with truck driving? Do you plan on doing it for a long time? Is this your forever thing, or do you have like a limit?
Well, I am 47 years old, so no, I don't
Oh, wow,
plan
really?
on yeah,
Doesn't
I
seem
am.
like
I
it.
am older. Yeah, I am older. So, no, I'm gonna do it till my kids finish college, and then I'm gonna retire. I have a bus, so I'm going to convert it into a schoolie and travel the United States.
Nice.
Yeah,
My wife and
yeah,
I are in a van, so yeah, same thing,
yeah.
similar.
I thought about, I mean, I have a 40-foot right now, so I don't think I need it that big. So I'm thinking I might go down to maybe a little bit smaller because I don't need all that stuff.
Check
Like, I
out
don't
the
need all that room.
check out a shuttle bus. Like, you ever see the shuttle
Yes,
buses? Those are nice because
I,
they come
yeah,
smaller and bigger. So,
yeah. Well, so I'm like, I think I just want a smaller one. I'm thinking like if I get another school bus that has the weird wheelchair lift, it makes it easier to put stuff in.
yeah,
So like if I get a motorcycle, I can just put that thing in, put it
there you go.
inside. So
Yeah,
I'm thinking about going
we had to
smaller.
take the wheelchair lift out of. We had a van that had the wheelchair lift in, and we had to rip that out. That was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking about, because I love traveling. I mean, I go everywhere in the truck, but half the time I've got a time schedule, so I can't stop at certain places. And I do like take my home time. Like right now, I'm in Kansas visiting friends. I've been off. I think I'm gonna have 5 days off. So I take my home time anywhere. And we do take 34 hours where we have to reset our clock, and hopefully it's someplace where I haven't been. So I take the time off there, and if I it's interesting, I'll go out with a Uber and see some things. If not, I'm in the truck watching dramas.
It's kind of cool. Your truck is like a hotel room for you, and you just take an Uber around the city and drop back off. That's pretty cool. It's like these little things you don't even think about. I think people who aren't truck drivers just think, oh, you just get in a truck and go, and then sleep and get up and go. They don't realize that there is some fun tied into it.
Well, I have two fridges in mine, because I eat a lot of like fresh fruits and vegetables. So I have two fridges, one's for drinks and one's for fruits and vegetables and kimchi and, you know, like the meat and stuff. So I've overkilled the truck. Like,
Now that's
so
something you can do. Like you can customize your own truck. Like you can
Hmm.
add like a
Oh,
fridge if you
absolutely.
want, or
yeah,
You can
most
you can make it home.
nice.
Go ahead. Go
it,
ahead.
it is our home. I mean, we're in the truck for months at a time. It is our home. So, I mean, I just put in a 13-inch mattress because the mattresses that come with it are like 5 inches and it sinks down. So I was like, I need a memory foam. So I just bought, a big old mattress, and then I built a shelf that sits my other fridge above the bed. And then, of course, we have bunk beds. So the top bunk I have, right now I'm using for storage. If I have to take a student on, then I'll have to go back to Phoenix because that's where I'll route back to, and I'll stick the stuff in my car that I don't need because I keep my winter gear in the truck as well. So
Cool. Oh, so Doug, do you have a bunk in yours? Is that what you have too,
Oh
Doug?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, they
every
do.
truck.
Okay, I didn't notice that.
No, what happened, Mike, when you see it, I put the bunk up
Oh,
so I
you
have
can
more
fold it.
headroom and it
Okay.
feels bigger, but you can put it down and it can be storage. And no, every truck, because these trucks are made to where you can do teams. And oftentimes there's cabinets, there's double cabinets. There's a cabinet over here and a cabinet over here for that other person. And they're set up so two people can actually function in the truck. So
That's
if you're by
cool.
yourself, you have the option like she does where you can use the top bunk as a lot of room. You can actually put a lot of stuff up there if you're living in your truck. But I put when you're seeing mine, it's I'll show you on one of my videos. All you do is pull a little lever and it pops down. I
Nice.
just like it because I'm tall. I like to have all that extra space
Definitely,
when
yeah.
I'm
That's
up
cool. You
there.
can kind of customize your own truck, or add stuff and or whatever. So that's neat that they let you. Because that's another thing you think, oh, is it your truck, or are you sharing a truck? Like, hey, how does that kind of play a part? But Doug was kind of explaining if you're more of a full-time worker, you would get your own rig that's pretty much yours.
Doug,
Well,
make do
Go
you
ahead.
have truck? What kind of truck do you have? I have a
I
Volvo.
they I see the first several years of driving, I loved Volvos. I had nothing but Volvos. But when I came back from Japan, they gave me a brand spanking new Kenworth. And
Ooh.
I like Volvos. I like Volvos because of the turning radius and they're easy to maneuver and back, and they don't have weight issues with the steers and the. But when I got back from Japan, they gave me this brand spanking new Volvo. So I kidded around with them. I said, "Looks like I'm going to be working full time for a while." And I put 170,000 miles on this, and because of my age, I was thinking, who knows? Because I plan to drive maybe 3 to 5 years more. I thought now that I've got this brand new truck, maybe this will be my last career truck. I'll just drive this until I get my 500,000 miles and retire.
Yeah.
But that's what I was trying to explain to Mike. Is imagine I get this truck. I didn't have to finance it. I have to put that $20,000 down on it. I don't have to do anything. They just gave it to me and said, drive it for as long as you want. It's yours. It's so cool. And like you said, fixed up the way you want it. And as long as you're working and driving and doing the miles, it's yours.
It
So
seems
it's
like you
so
guys
cool.
work for a great company. I mean, Night Transportation seems like it takes very good care of their employees and has a really good mindset about what it takes and what to expect. And it really seems like you're in with a great group of people.
They are one
There-
of the largest now trucking companies. So yeah, they are really good to us. Really good to us. I mean, there's always good and there's always bad, but it's what you make of it. I
Right.
mean, you can't, if you stress yourself out, yes, you're going to be stressed. It's just take one day at a time, one load at a time, 1 mile at a time. That's just how it is with trucking. Things change in a heartbeat. Weather changes in a heartbeat. Traffic will stop us. That's just how it is. It should be, I mean, we're automatics, so it should be less stressful for us. And it can be stressful, but you just move on. Let it go and
but
just move on.
Right.
and the people are so LC Madeline was on the phone today, so she was answering the phone. It's so cool. I don't think of her as like my boss or the fleet manager. I think of her as a friend. So she answered the phone and said, "Oh, I knew you were going to be on the phone. You can't stay away from work. You're probably doing this so the other driver managers don't have to work." She said yes, 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 and so we got chit chat a little bit, but then we got down to business, and it's really cool to work with people that are really good at what they're doing, and they're really good, and they're all business, but at the same time, you feel like they're a friend, or you like them as a person. And that's the way Madeline is. She's not like on a upper level. She's like, one of the people. Then she's on the phones because she wants the driver managers to have some time off. So she's taking the phones, and that's on top of working her full-time job during the week.
Yeah.
So this is just not all companies are the same. Because it's all about the culture. And one of the reasons I've been with Night 9 years now, and I stay with them is because they treat me really well. But also, like LC said, it's what you bring to the table. When I'm on, I'm on. I'm really focused on my job, and not all drivers are like that. So if you're a good driver, they'll treat you really well because they want to keep you. They don't want to lose you, so they'll keep you. So it's a good company if you're a good driver.
Yeah. I mean, it's just on how you take driving and how you take your career. If you're going to take it seriously and do your job, they have no problems like trying to route you home. I mean, they routed me home to my friends from Pennsylvania. They're like, there were no loads, so I had to pick up a load in Mississippi. I was in Little Rock, had to pick up a load in Mississippi, which was 3 hours away. And then that load was supposed to go up to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I got to drop it in the Kansas City yard, and another driver picked it up. And then I deadheaded, which is empty trailer, to Augusta, Kansas. I mean, I didn't pay for the fuel. They did. So, they accommodate me because I do what needs to be done, and I don't throw fits or cuss them out like a lot of people do. I just do my job and I do it well. So they're like, yeah, just deadhead home. I'm like, okay, thanks.
And then, so now you're parked at the terminal near where you are, and then
No.
you'll just, oh, you're at?
No, I'm parked at a truck parking. There is no terminal in Augusta,
Oh,
Kansas.
okay, I got you.
Nope.
So now what is
The
for Night, what's your territory? Is it the whole US, or do you have certain sections?
Nope, I'm OTR, over the road, all
So that
48.
you go everywhere. Oh, wow, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I didn't know
Yeah.
if you had certain territories, because I was telling Doug, I'm like, I don't think I'm from the East. I'm like, I don't really think I've seen many Night trucks. I don't know if it's just because I see your truck more now with what we're doing, and now I'm seeing more night trucks. I just feel like I haven't seen too many of them on the East Coast, or
I do
you're out
Pennsylvania.
there too. Yeah,
I do. Yeah.
nice.
I do Pennsylvania. I do New Jersey. I've delivered in New York, Fishkill, New York, small little town. Yeah, I do East Coast. I've been traveling the East Coast for 6 months, staying the East and South, because I don't like to go to California. So I'm
I
like,
know. I
keep
was
me on
gonna
the other
say
side.
something. I was gonna say something to Doug. I'm like, man, you're running all around LA and all that. That must be crazy.
No, I don't really particularly like. I'm what I see. I did all 48 states with the other company for 3 solid years. Teams where we were traveling 1,000 miles a week. We were traveling like 20,000 miles a month, all over the country, coast to coast. When you're doing teams, you can be in upstate. You could be in LA on Friday night, be in upstate New York on Monday morning,
Wow.
and you're just flying around like crazy. So I've done all 48, and I can do all 48. And I especially like to do it in the summertime when you don't have to worry about bad weather and stuff, because it's a lot different vibe on the east, and I don't like having to deal with 55-mile-an-hour speed limits in LA, and people drive like their hair's on fire here, it just and I almost got in my first accident today. And what happened, I don't know what happened, but I looked to my left. I swore there wasn't a car there. And I looked to my right, and I started going out of the truck stop. And as soon as I went out, a car honked at me and went right in front of my truck. I came like so close to accident. I know the camera caught it. So I called Madeline. I said up front, I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I looked to the left and there was no car, but this car came screaming out of the driveway of the truck stop and just went right in front of me. I don't know what happened, but people just drive crazy here. I just don't like the way they drive.
Yeah.
You have to always be on high alert.
And that's why we have smart cam. That's why we have dash
Yeah.
cams in our trucks now, because, it's no longer the trucker's fault automatically. We have dash cam, and it has saved my butt a few times. It's not all of our fault anymore. They can't blame us. So that's great. I love having the dash cam.
Yeah, because
I have two.
people cut trucks off all the time. It's crazy to see how mad people get at trucks, and it's like, yeah, they're carrying so much weight. It's like, and you're in a car, just get out of the way and keep moving. And with the dash cam thing now, is that something that you have to turn on, or is that automatically start
It's
recording?
automatic.
So it's like a black box
automatic.
almost, just recording.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and
That's
if we
cool.
have like a situation, we hit the little green button and it records it. So
Oh, so it
Yeah.
doesn't always record, or you?
no, it's always recording,
Okay.
but it timestamps it.
So you'd be like,
So
boom,
that
here's
way,
when this happened, and then it would.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like this little stuff, that interesting stuff here.
I've had we were in traffic. I've had people go on the right shoulder to pass to get ahead, because they don't want to wait and stop traffic. I'm like, and then of course you see them pulled over 5 minutes down the road because there's a cop. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yay for you. I hope that's a big ticket, So you see some crazy stuff out here.
Now, how does
And
that?
you're like,
Talking about like traffic, like can you report people with your radios? Like if you see something on the road, do you just kind of like leave it,
like,
or how does that work for you guys and
I'll
gals?
call, like if I see an accident, I will call 911 and report it. I mean, of course. I mean, I have 2 dash cams, so one's recording, and if they need it, I will give it to the police. I'm like, here you go. I mean, not only does it help whoever the driver wasn't at fault, because some things happen. Like I've seen like people flip their cars, because they're driving on, too fast for conditions, weather, just because it's raining lightly doesn't mean there's not going to be enough water on the ground where you're not going to hydroplane. Yes, you can slow down, turn on your lights. I can't tell you how many people I see driving with pouring rain with no lights on. I can't see the rear end of you if it's a flash flood. You don't have lights on. That's what they're made for. Use your lights. I mean, and then the worst thing that kills me is when people merge from the on-ramps.
Oh, yeah.
That is there for you to get up to speed We
Yeah.
do not have to get over. The right lane does not have to get over to let you on. That is not the law. We are flowing with traffic. You need to flow on to traffic at the speed limit. That's why they have that merge ramp. And that, then they get so mad that you didn't let them on, and you're like, there's a
Or
car.
they're like deer in the headlights. This happens. I know the LC you said there's a car. Okay, it's in front of you. It's not behind you. It's in front of you. They see you. They're like deer in the headlights. They'll stop. They're like, oh my God, what do I do? Just accelerate. Go, go, go. Just get going. You're in front of me, and they freeze up. And oh man, they just freeze up. And they don't realize when they freeze up, they're making it worse because you have this long tractor and trailer when they could just accelerate onto the lane. That happens over and over again. It just drives me crazy.
We can't pick up speed like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you slow us down, it's going to take us a while to pick up the speed and start going again. And then y'all are mad because we're slow. I'm like, well, you made me slow. So, it's just so funny. I guess they just don't realize how much what we carry, how much it weighs, and how much the tractor weighs. Like, technically, we can only put 45,000 pounds in the box. I've never had 45,000 pounds in the box because you have to add in your fuel. The most I've ever had is 43,000 in the box because by then I'm at 79,000 pounds. That's with truck and trailer and with fuel. So, you're like, it's 80,000 pounds. And I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but I swear since people have come back onto the road after COVID, they drive worse.
They forget how to drive.
Yes. I'm like, did y'all forget how to drive?
What's this
it's been
driving
worse.
thing? I'll have to pay attention to that. I didn't put that together. That's actually a good observation.
What do you think, Doug? Do you think people who come back from COVID are like worse drivers now than before? It seems like it's worse.
Yeah, I think they're worse, but just people in general don't. I don't know. It's not that I'm trying to stereotype, and judge people, but they forget that we drive for a living. We're out here, whatever, at least, 10 or 11 hours a day.
Oh, you froze up there, Doug.
I think we lost him.
Oh, he's back. Doug, you froze for a second. You're back, but you're muted.
Mute. Okay.
And then if you want to turn your phone a little bit because it's showing you the other
LC
way.
is upside down. I don't know.
Oh, it's your phone. No, you're upside down.
Wasn't me.
No, you're good. Yep.
Oh, there we go.
Perfect.
There we go.
Awesome.
Well, what I was saying, but to tell you the truth, I try to chill, and if I start getting all uptight about the way people drive all day, I'll be just wound up like a knot. So I take the kind of the Zen approach. I try not to let that bother me. I try to just stay. I like, how people travel in like ducks and geese, in a big cluster. I back off way back and I just try to let them fight it out. I hate to see when I see cars, they accelerate into this flock and they're like a foot from the other bumper and they're all fighting like in this cluster, and I just back off. I don't want to be in the middle of all of that stuff. And the other pet peeve I have is when people see that there's a red light in front of them and they accelerate really fast and then they slam on their brakes. It's like, can't you see there's a red light? There's a red light, just chill. So there are some things that bother me, but I just try to let it go.
Well, we also have we have a distance sensor in our truck. So we have to stay, a certain amount of seconds, 3 to 5 seconds away from that truck, or else it starts beeping and then our smart drive goes off and then we get points for it, which affects our safety score. So we have to stay a certain amount of distance. It's not like, hey, we just left this whole bit of room for you to come on in. It's because we have to back off. So then we'll back off if you have another truck or car comes in, because we have all that space in front of us. We have to back off more because you put that space there. So we have, it's a safety. It's for safety for us and for you. It's basically, we have a truck length in front of us. That room is there for when we need to stop because we have more distance to cover to stop the truck. And that So we have like a sensor that'll start going off, says distance warning, distance warning. Well, that's what mine says. And then I have to back off more and give it room so that it stops that and I don't mess with my safety score, because night is really big on safety. So
We have to have 4 seconds, but what happens, Mike, is, and this even happens with truck drivers, it happens all the time. I have a big 4-second margin, and the truck will pass me, drop right in, 1.9 seconds. Then I have to push the brake, back off. They only want us to brake. They know that we can't keep 4 seconds all the time, but I hate the truck drivers that drop, they drop right in your space, and then they pull right out, and they just, you know, they mess up your 4 seconds always. So then you're braking all the time. You're just braking. And then what happens, you start braking and braking because they want you to brake so you don't get points. You brake, and then the guy behind you gets pissed off. He honks at you and flips you off because you're going too slow. You know, it's not, when you're just trying to be safe, you know.
Yeah,
I
I've
know,
seen
I
some
don't-
ruthless truckers out there too.
yeah, I have changed my hand signals now to, so I don't flip anybody off. I usually give them a thumbs. I usually give them a thumbs up. I'm like, yeah, great job, you know, because I'm like, you know, so I try to take me. I'm like, great job. So if you see me giving someone a thumbs up, it probably means I'm flipping you off in my mind. But yeah. So, yeah.
In my world, I know
like,
what this means.
In my world, this is like, you're doing great job, you know. So.
Oh, good
So,
fun,
yeah.
good stuff. I'm loving it. Do you guys want to talk about anything else? Or is there anything else that you want to hit on? Elsie, we want to respect your time as well. We appreciate you taking the time out with,
Oh, yeah.
with friends and stuff. So we want to respect your time. If there's anything else you'd like to touch upon as far as what you're doing in the trucking world, what you're doing in the traveling world, or just anything at all, please feel free to come on out. Or if not,
Enjoying my time off. Or I have to get back on the truck.
And where
Oh,
you
by
heading
the
next?
way,
Go ahead, Doug.
oh, I'm sorry. I just, all I wanted to see, LC, we're gonna download this and it's recorded. So if you want to share this with your friends, I'll send you the link for it so you can share this if you want to share it with
Thank you.
family or anything. Yeah. So go ahead. You have the floor for the rest of the time.
Yeah, if you want to, yeah, Elsie, if you want to close out or just kind of, yeah, totally up to you. You don't have to do anything, but we just give you the option to just kind of share your.
Well, I would
Fine
say where
words.
I'm going, but then it's, since it's going to be downloaded and I have to share it with my family, I'm not going to say where I'm going. So
Okay.
Okay.
we'll say that.
I'm going to enjoy the rest of the day with my girlfriend. So yeah, we are going to the casino. Shh.
Okay.
I'll
And
bleep
you're in your
that
off
part
time.
out. We'll bleep that
You're
part
in
I
your
out.
off
Going
time.
to the casino? Where?
I know. Yeah. Well, we have a plan. We have a plan this time. We're taking only cash in. We're
There you
leaving the
go.
debit card. That it sounds like a reasonable plan, but things happen. Things happen.
They do.
So-
You gotta be prepared. But I like that. I like
Yeah.
at least going in with a plan. Hey, actually, I don't know if you tried this before. Try walking backwards into the casino. I heard that's good luck. I don't know. I don't know if you tried that.
I have not tried that, but the last time I went, I think I played what is the one with the little ball that drops in the black and red?
Oh, the roulette. Yeah.
Thing? Yes, I played that, and I started winning, so I started just doubling down. And I was like, oh, we got to walk away now. And so we got up and left. We're like, we got to go now. So we came out ahead, but we're like, and so now I think I'm addicted to it. And now I'm like, I got to go back and try that. You know?
Well, we wish you the best of luck. Yeah, like I said, I saw it on a TV show. Someone just as they walked past the entrance of the casino, they just walked backwards. They're like, "Oh, it's for good luck." I'm like, "Okay."
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that this time. And then they're looking at me like, what is she doing?
It's only when you walk into it. You don't have to walk through the whole casino backwards. Walk. It's just
You never know.
Through the thread. Yeah, just walking backwards into it.
I know. I'm just gonna walk backwards. This is my seeing eye friend. I'm walking backwards. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, we
Well,
appreciate
thanks,
your time.
LC.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're around another time in the future, we'd be more than happy to have you on and chat trucking and traveling and anything else that comes up. So thank you so much.
You guys.
Doug, we're going to stay
Yeah,
on and chat a
thanks.
little bit longer, but LC, thank you so much for your time. Have fun.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
your home time.
Yes,
Enjoy your
good
home
luck.
time.
I'm enjoying it. Bye.
Okay. Take care.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
again. All right, that was awesome, Doug. Great time there. Great little chat. That was fun. What did you think, man? What did you think?
Yeah. I just have to keep an eye on the clock because my 14-hour clock is ticking down. I still have an hour and a half to get to where I need to go.
Okay.
And I have a little bit of time that we can chat, but I like when we do these Zoom calls when I'm not under a load and I don't have to go anywhere and I'm just hanging out, especially at home, because
Yeah.
right now I'm delivering this load and I have to deliver it. I have to deliver it by midnight, so it's only like not even 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But I have a 14-hour clock ticking down. I have 3 hours and 31 minutes left on it, and I have about an hour and a half to drive, so I have about two 2 hours cushion. So when you're driving a truck, you always have to kind of know where you stand, especially when you stack loads. Like I have 3 loads in a row, because it's like a domino effect. So that's something I want to cover more on our channel is trip planning and all the details, because all the how-to stuff, like how to lower the landing gear and how to hook up a trailer and how to feel, all those are all things that as a new driver, just because you do them every day and you do them over and over and over again, you're going to get those down just naturally doing the job. But the thing that's going to help you be more productive and make more money is the trip planning and being disciplined and being, really fine tuning your skills as far as your functionality and your productivity in the load, because we get paid by the mile. So there's a lot of little things that you can do as a truck driver so you can be more productive and therefore make more money. So that's another thing I want to cover too.
I like that.
It's not just, you understand where I'm coming from, Mike, is
Yeah.
I will definitely I'll go through all the things that they'll learn, but to tell you the truth, their trainer will also go through those too, and they'll practice those. They'll have those pretty down.
Well, and it's not to say that you even have to specifically train on that. You could just be walking up and doing your thing. Like, hey, I'm dropping this trailer. Here I am, getting out of my truck, drop the trailer.
Well,
without even really saying, this is this,
yeah,
this is that. You just do it.
that's a good point. That's a good point. I actually have started doing that naturally now because for me, for doing these videos, it's just more easy to just swing into this stuff. Like when I'm driving, I'll think of things to say when I'm driving. So when I'm doing my job, obviously I have to drop a trailer and pick up a trailer. I have to feel, so I can just, like exactly what you're saying, I don't have to do a special video. I can talk as I'm feeling. So now I'm feeling, and then I can also add other things to it. So I'm adding more value with every single video I'm doing, and it's very organic.
Definitely.
So I'm just learning that myself as I'm doing more videos. So it's more natural, so that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I like that too because, like think about it. Here we are doing our thing. I mean, you've done video in the past a long time ago, and now this new style of doing video where you can just do it in the palm of your hand. You just kind of started on that end of it. So I like the idea, like you said, just kind of purging everything out, finding out what works, finding out what we need to focus on, and bringing value. And at the end of the day, people like to see like what you're doing. So if you're driving down the road, some people don't ever get to leave their office or leave their, wherever they work. So to be able to just watch someone's video for 10, 20 minutes or whatever it may be of them driving and talking, it's like you get to see a part of the world or another country that you may never see because, here we are, we're in the United States, but we're broadcasting to, all different kinds of places in the world. So it's neat to bring that to people, the views, the mountains, the valleys, the bridges, the memorable spaces that you even pass through on your travels.
Absolutely, and we forget, that this is foreign to other people. This is people in Japan and people in Singapore and people in Asian countries, that may have never been here before. This is like reality TV. They're like they get to see the country, and they're not. We forget that we have an incredible interstate system here that not all countries have the kind of system we have. I know, like when I was in Brazil, they did have freeways, but there was times that the road just came to a dead end, and there was like a river or a swamp, and that was it. You had to you had to use a boat to go across the other side. There was no more roads, just come to a dead end, and people, we forget that we have interstates that go virtually everywhere, all over the country. And when I went to Japan, I didn't see the volume of trucks that we have here. They had trucks there, but they opened on the side, I think they use a lot of smaller vehicles. They have big distribution centers, but then they use a lot of smaller vehicles. The other thing, for example, it can be working reverse for me. When I went there, I was amazed that their mail doesn't come by way of mail trucks. They deliver all of their mail, even a populated area like Tokyo. They deliver it by scooter. Everything is on a scooter, so it's really mobile. And their mail system, their mail carrier is on a scooter. So every country in the world, they have slightly different things in the way they do things. And for someone outside the United States, it kind of gives them an idea of what truck driving is in the US. So I think they can get some value as we pick up more and more people outside the country that watch this.
Definitely, and even next time you head out to Tokyo, or next time you head out to Japan or wherever you're going, even bringing that to people too is huge too. So I mean, I love where we're going. Do you have to hit the road now? Are you getting close?
I feel pretty complete in that, and I don't like to wait to the last minute.
Yeah, I don't
because
want to
I'm
keep you and mess you up either. The important thing is to keep you on schedule as well, and do what we're doing here too. So yeah.
Yeah, so I'm good. I think we had a good talk with LC. I think that was awesome. So
Yeah, that was really cool.
That added a different element to our weekly recap. And all in all, I think this week was a good week, and then we just start again. I think I listened to my headset. I thought it sounded okay myself, but I'll keep working on that.
Well,
And
there
like
was
I
that
said, I'll
one
work on.
video.
Go ahead.
You sent me that one video, and it sounded like it wasn't even connected. So I was just like, that doesn't
Yeah.
even there's no way that could be your microphone. And then the next videos that you sent sounded better. And that's it. I know we're gonna pick up some truck noise, but the clarity of your voice is really what we want to get to. No matter what the noise is, like just being able to capture that clear, crisp voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is now. You can hear. I mean, I know your truck's not running. Your voice though is very crisp and clear.
Yeah, that's why I thought. So my point is, I think this is a good headset. So
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna bring it back. I think it has good clarity. And the other thing, I'm going to experiment, like I said, where I can take out the road noise and add music and voiceover. I can have some of it with some road noise. I'm going to experiment, get creative with the videos. I don't know.
That's what it's all about, my friend.
Yeah.
I love it.
But anyway, I'm good to go if you want to close this out.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for watching us. This is our weekly recap number 6. We had a special guest, LC, also a night truck driver. If you're here on the channel, subscribe, definitely comment. If you have any questions or anything that you want us to cover about trucking or traveling, feel free to either comment or reach out to us directly. I'm more than happy to make valuable content that answers questions and interacts with our audience. What do you think, Doug? Anything else you want to say, my friend, or you're good to head
No,
out?
I just I think it's awesome. I'm glad if you are watching this. Thanks for watching, and check out our other videos. We've done a lot of videos, and we're going to continue to add content. So check out the other videos we have, and we'd love to see you subscribe and tag along.
Perfect. All right, Doug. Well, safe travels. Great talk today. Good stuff, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you a little bit later. Have a great.
Oh,
rest
I'm
of your day.
sure.
And
I'll
take
be in
care,
touch.
everybody watching. We'll
Take
talk to
care.
you later. Bye bye.